So in this video, I really want to talk about content strategy and how this relates to paid social, LinkedIn ads, but also you don't need to relate it back to paid social. Content strategy is really important, and it's especially important for paid social, but we need to just think about content strategy. What is it that we need to drive buyers and create new demand, not just capture demand, which is what these platforms do. We're trying to, with content, is super important to create new demand. So my content strategy is thinking about what is the buyer. We need to first step is to analyze your buyer. We need to really think deeply from a humanistic approach. What are the steps that the buyer needs to take? What kind of education? We need to analyze what is the steps they take before they become a buyer and understand what kind of education they need. And a kind of framework to look at this is first looking at neither problem aware nor solution aware. Problem aware but not solution aware, and both problem and solution aware. So we can create content based around these three buckets, but the most important places are the first two buckets, and probably the second bucket is by far the most scalable. So the first bucket is neither problem nor solution aware. The content we focus on there is all about the problem you solve. The person might know there's a problem, they might be kind of aware of it, but they haven't really thought about it too much yet, or they might not be prioritizing it and they're not allocating any budget to it yet, potentially. The next one is problem aware but not solution aware. So what that means is we need to educate people. They already know they have a problem, but they don't really know what the solution is. So we're not trying to educate them on our brand and showing them case studies, who are we, what we do, this kind of stuff. We're actually just giving education and content about why our industry category or segment makes sense to solve the problem. So I always give the example that I do LinkedIn ads. My indirect industry competitors are SEO and Google ads and outbound. Any other, I solve the problem of demand. So anything else that solves that problem of demand in a different industry category, such as Google ads, is my indirect competitor. So the content I'm creating now is why are LinkedIn ads better than those other platforms, why LinkedIn ads are good. So the education I would give there is comparing LinkedIn ads compared to these other industry segments and communicating why that my industry segment is better to solve their problem, much better in fact, than the other ones. And suddenly I'm moving this buyer from problem aware to going, should I do SEO? Should I spend 100K a month on Google ads? Or how about actually, maybe LinkedIn ads are the right one. And they've been taken through this process by me. They've watched my videos. They've seen my presentations. They've seen some document posts. They've been following me on LinkedIn and getting all this content. Suddenly they've got moved down this journey. And I've helped them along that process. Suddenly I'm just there in plain sight. They're going to reach out to me, and they do. They are, from all the content I'm creating. They just DM me on LinkedIn, or they send me an email saying, I really understand why I want LinkedIn ads, and they understand, what's the benefits of LinkedIn ads compared to these other platforms, and they're now allocating budget, and they're coming to me already ready to buy. I've built up all this trust with them already because I've sent them through the process. Maybe they've seen my videos, they've seen my content or my company's stuff. So they've gone through the process. I've built trust with them already. They already understand why why they should come to me, and they're there just ready to buy. And they're not price conscious buyers because they have gone through this process. There's no trust building. They're not shopping around. They're ready to buy, and they're not price conscious. So I can charge the value what I think I'm worth, and I can move them along. The conversion rates of those phone calls are much higher. So that's what we need to do with our content strategy. And of course, what I do as a company, I distribute this with LinkedIn ads, because LinkedIn ads are a very fantastic way of distributing content to a very specific ICP. Is that VP of marketing, sales guys, or whatever it is, founders of SaaS companies, whatever that is. LinkedIn ads are awesome at distributing at scale this process. And I would recommend having a content strategy, like posting on LinkedIn on a daily basis. Organic strategies are amazing, and in the long term, they're the best. But if you're just starting out and you haven't got an organic strategy running already, start that, and maybe in 6 to 8 months, it's going to start really benefiting your company massively. But paid social and LinkedIn ads will accelerate the whole process and start generating that demand right away. So that's why paid social makes sense. And that's all I'm doing with paid social. It's not a different thing to organic. It's actually content strategy, just distributed at scale. And content is the key to creating this brand new demand, not just capturing it, what most people do, creating this brand new demand. We're pushing people who would potentially never have even considered allocating budget to LinkedIn ads or to whatever you do, to actually considering it and doing that. So suddenly it's new demand completely. We're opening that. And this is more important than ever in the current economic climate, because the current demand is getting smaller. So we need to create new demand for your market segment.